The room went silent as Jasmine Crockett held up the papers, her hands trembling, not with fear, but with fury. The live feed counter ticked past 3.2 million viewers as her voice cut like glass. He lied. To you, to all of us, and here, right here, is the proof. She slammed down the stack of financial documents on the desk. The camera zoomed in on bold red annotations, inflated assets, hidden liabilities, shell transfers. Across the screen, a split-second clip showed Trump at a rally, laughing as he boasted, "I'm richer than all of them combined." Now Jasmine's calm but fiery gaze locked on viewers. "These aren't my words, they're his numbers, verified, audited." The chat exploded. "Is this real? Show us everything! OMG, she's ending him live!" But before Jasmine could flip to the most damning page, a piercing alarm blared from her phone. A text in all caps. "Jasmine, get out now, they're coming." Jasmine's heart pounded. Was this some sick prank? No. The text was from Marcus, her chief of staff, the one man she trusted with her life. "Get out, you're not safe. They're watching the feed." On screen, she forced a smile. "We're not done here," she said, trying to steady her breath. Behind her, faint at first, then louder. A knock at the door, not the gentle kind, the kind that made your stomach flip. Bang, bang, bang. The chat erupted. "Who's at her door?" "Don't open it!" She reached for the next document anyway, whispering under her breath, "If they take me, at least they'll know the truth." As she lifted the paper revealing Trump's $340 million debt concealed in offshore accounts, the lights flickered. Then, crash. The door splintered open. Two figures in dark suits stormed in. No badges, no words, just cold, calculated movements. One reached for her laptop, the other went for her phone. Jasmine stood her ground. "I'm live. Millions are watching. Touch me, and they'll see everything." For a moment, hesitation. Then the taller one sneered. "Cut the feed. Now." But before they could, Marcus burst in from the back entrance, shouting, "Run, Jasmine! They're here for the files!" She clutched the documents to her chest. She had a choice. Stay and fight, risking everything. Or escape and broadcast the full truth later. Tears welled up in her eyes. The chat was screaming, "Go, Jasmine, go!" They're going to shut her down. And then, the screen went black. The live feed froze, millions staring at a spinning circle. Comments flew by in panic. "Did they cut her off? What's happening?" In Jasmine's apartment, chaos ruled. Marcus tackled one intruder, shouting, "Take the back stairs, Jazz, now!" Clutching the documents, she ran. Her chest burned as she stumbled down 5 flights, shoes pounding concrete. She could still hear them upstairs, their heavy boots, Marcus yelling, glass shattering. The sound of her front door being kicked in replayed in her head like a gunshot. She whispered to herself, "They can't silence me. Not now. Not ever." Bursting into the alley, she found an unmarked van idling. Inside sat Tasha, her best friend from law school and now an investigative journalist. "Get in," Tasha hissed. "You just went to war on live TV. They're coming for all of us." But as Jasmine climbed in, her phone buzzed again. A new text. "You think this ends with numbers? Check your mother's hospital records." Jasmine froze, the color draining from her face. "What does my mother have to do with this?" she whispered. Tasha shot her a worried look as the van sped off. "Jazz, what's going on? Who sent that?" Jasmine didn't answer. Instead, memories crashed in. Her mother's tear-streaked face in a dimly lit hospital room. The hospital had billed them $187,000 for treatments after her mother's insurance mysteriously lapsed. Jasmine was 23. She had fought tooth and nail, taken on 3 jobs, begged for help. Later, she discovered her mother's employer's health plan was gutted because of Trump-era loopholes benefiting billionaire CEOs. Now, years later, could this be connected? Her hand shook as she opened the attached file. It wasn't just her mother's records. It showed a network of hospital stock investments tied to Trump's shell companies. "Jazz, look at me," Tasha yelled, snapping her back. "You can't fight this alone." But Jasmine's eyes burned with quiet rage. "I don't care what it costs me. I'll finish what I started." They couldn't go home. They couldn't trust anyone. So they parked the van under a bridge, setting up Tasha's portable broadcast rig. The chat had reignited on Jasmine's backup account. Tens of thousands flooded in. "She's alive! Drop the receipts before they take you again." Jasmine stared at the camera, her voice breaking but steady. "They tried to shut me down, but listen carefully. I'm not backing down. Trump lied about his wealth, about our system, and about families like mine. It ends tonight." She pulled up the documents again, this time showing evidence of a $950 million loan Trump had defaulted on, disguised as a write-off to dodge taxes. But just as she prepared to reveal more, Tasha's laptop beeped, an IP trace alert. Someone had found their location. "Jazz, they're coming. Again." The screen crackled. A chilling voice broke through their feed. "You had your chance. Now it's our turn." The van's interior was lit only by the faint glow of Tasha's laptop. Jasmine's breath fogged in the cold as she clutched her mother's files tighter. "Who found us? How?" she demanded. Tasha's eyes darted nervously. I don't know. Maybe the VPN." Suddenly, the van rocked violently. Headlights flooded the dark underpass. A black SUV screeched to a halt, blocking their exit. Through the windshield, Jasmine saw him. A man in a tailored suit. A face she recognized from Capitol Hill. "Congressman Vail?" she whispered in disbelief. Tasha froze. "You know him?" "Yeah," Jasmine said bitterly. "He's on Trump's finance committee." The man approached, his voice calm yet chilling. "Jasmine, open the door. You've been misled. Tasha's been feeding us your moves all along." Jasmine's heart shattered. She turned to Tasha, her best friend, her sister in the fight. "Tell me it's a lie." Tasha couldn't meet her eyes. Tears blurred Jasmine's vision. "You sold me out?" Tasha's voice cracked. "I had no choice. They threatened my family. If I didn't—" Jasmine slammed her fist against the van wall. "We're fighting for families like yours. And you handed them the truth on a silver platter." The SUV doors opened. Armed men spilled out, boots crunching on gravel. Congressman Vail raised a hand. "Come with us peacefully, Jasmine. You don't understand how dangerous these files are." Her phone buzzed. A text from Marcus, somehow still alive. "Do not go with them. Upload everything now. You're running out of time." Jasmine's finger hovered over the broadcast button, but she hesitated. If she hit send, the world would see Trump's lies, but Vail's men would surely silence her forever. If she waited, she might lose her only chance to expose the truth. The men closed in. The van's back doors flew open. Jasmine had seconds to decide. She stared at Tasha. "You've cost me everything, but I won't let you cost the country too." Grabbing the documents and Tasha's laptop, Jasmine leapt out the back. Gravel tore at her hands as she hit the ground running. Gunshots cracked the air. Bullets ricocheted off the concrete pillars. Vail shouted behind her. "You can't run forever, Crockett. We own every corner of this city." Jasmine's legs screamed in pain, but her mind was steel. She thought of her mother, coughing in that hospital bed, whispering through tears. "Promise me, Jasmine. Fight for the ones who can't." Ahead, the faint glow of a subway entrance beckoned. She stumbled down the stairs, disappearing into the shadows, just as the SUV screeched to a halt above. Her phone buzzed again. "Marcus, there's still a way out, but it will cost you everything. The subway station was empty except for the hum of flickering lights. Jasmine pressed herself against the cold tiles, clutching the laptop like a lifeline. Her phone buzzed. Marcus's voice came through, low and urgent. "There's only one place left. Remember the community radio station in Ward 7? The one your mom used to volunteer at?" Memories flooded her. As a child, she'd watched her mother read news on that rickety mic, fighting for their neighborhood's forgotten stories. "It's abandoned now," Marcus continued, "but the transmitter still works. If you can reach it, you can broadcast everything, uncensored." "But Jasmine," he paused, voice breaking. "Once you hit send, they'll track you in seconds. You won't make it out." Jasmine's chest tightened. This wasn't just about her anymore. It was about millions of people lied to, cheated, left to suffer. She whispered back, "Then let's make it count." But as she stepped toward the exit, a chilling voice echoed through the tunnels. "You really thought you could outrun me?" Congressman Vale. He was here. Jasmine darted into the tunnels, heart pounding. She didn't see the rat-infested water or the rusted rails. All she saw was her mother's frail hand reaching out to her in that hospital bed. "Promise me you won't stop speaking for them, Jasmine. Even if it costs you." Hot tears blurred her vision. "I promised, Mama, and I'm keeping it." Behind her, Vale's men closed in, their flashlights sweeping the darkness. She ducked into a maintenance hatch, clutching the laptop so tightly her knuckles whitened. Her phone buzzed one last time. Marcus again. "Jazz, if you do this, you'll be a hero. But heroes don't always get happy endings." She smiled faintly through the fear. "Then let them tell my story." As she crawled through the narrow shaft, her earpiece crackled with Vale's voice. "You're cornered, Crockett. Give up the files and maybe we'll let you live." But Jasmine knew better. The hatch opened into the dusty remains of Ward 7 radio. Cobwebs draped the control boards. Jasmine's hands shook as she booted up the ancient system. A light blinked green. Somehow, it still worked. She plugged in Tasha's laptop, uploading the files. Trump's fake assets, his offshore debt, the hospital stock deals linked to her mother's death. The progress bar crawled forward, 10%, 30%. Then, bang! The door burst open. Vale's men flooded in. Jasmine locked eyes with the camera and whispered, "This is for every mother who died without care, for every family crushed under lies, for America." She slammed the broadcast button. The men lunged for her, a gun cocked. The screen flashed, live, breaking. Jasmine Crockett exposes Trump's wealth. Lies, full receipts, here. As the broadcast beamed out worldwide, Jasmine closed her eyes, a single tear sliding down her cheek. "Mama, I kept my promise." Gunfire rang out. The feed cut. The broadcast replayed on every platform, TikTok, YouTube, even late-night news. Jasmine's tearful face and her last words looped endlessly. For every family crushed under lies, for America. Crowds gathered outside the Capitol, chanting her name. Homemade posters read, "We are all Jasmine." The receipts don't lie. In the chaos, Marcus watched from a safe house, his face pale. She did it. But at what cost? News anchors debated her fate. Some claimed she'd been arrested. Others whispered she'd been killed. A viral video surfaced. Blurry footage of black SUVs speeding away from Ward 7 radio. No Jasmine in sight. But then Marcus's phone pinged. A scheduled message from Jasmine. "If you're reading this, Marcus, I didn't make it. But there's one last thing you need to know." His hand shook as he opened the file attached. The file was titled, "The Root." It wasn't just about Trump's wealth. It detailed a decades-long conspiracy, a shadow network of politicians, banks, and corporations. At the center was a name Marcus never expected, Congressman Vail. He wasn't just protecting Trump, Jasmine's voice played in a recording. He built the system that let him thrive. Expose him, and you expose them all. Marcus's stomach turned. If true, this wasn't just about Trump. It was about dismantling a machine of corruption, choking America for generations. But there was more. A final audio clip from Jasmine, her voice raw and broken. If I don't make it, promise me, fight harder. Make them remember my name, not as a victim, but as a warning. Tears streaked Marcus's face. I promise, Jazz. I swear. On the streets, Jasmine's broadcast had sparked a wildfire. Students walked out of classes. Workers marched on Wall Street. Mothers carried signs with her face. She fought for us. Now we fight for her. At night, a candlelight vigil surrounded Ward 7 radio. Marcus stood silently among them, holding a USB drive, the final file. He knew Vail's men were hunting him now, but he didn't care. Tasha appeared beside him, her face pale with guilt. I thought I was protecting my family. Jasmine was protecting the whole country. Marcus looked at her, eyes steely. We finish what she started. Suddenly, a breaking news alert blared on every screen. A grainy photo. Jasmine. Alive. Handcuffed, bruised, but alive, being loaded into a military van. The anchor's voice trembled. Sources say Jasmine Crockett has been taken to an undisclosed facility. Her condition is unknown. The crowd erupted in tears and shouts. Bring her back! Deep in a black site facility, Jasmine sat chained to a chair. Her face bruised, her lips cracked, but her spirit unbroken. Vail leaned over her, voice dripping with contempt. You've already lost, Crockett. The world's attention span is short. They'll forget you. Jasmine spat blood, eyes blazing. I don't care if they forget me. They'll never forget the truth. Outside, Marcus and Tasha, dressed as contractors, slipped past armed guards with forged IDs. Marcus whispered, one shot at this. No mistakes. As alarms blared, Jasmine heard footsteps. Her heart stopped, then surged with hope. Marcus burst through the door, shouting, Jazz, let's go! They ran through smoke-filled corridors as sirens wailed. Tasha clutched the USB drive, the final file Jasmine had uncovered. On the roof, a stolen helicopter waited. Guards fired wildly below. Jasmine clung to Marcus as they lifted off. We're not safe yet, Tasha yelled over the roar. Jasmine grabbed a headset and spoke live to millions watching the vigil outside Ward 7 radio. They tried to kill me. They failed. Now hear this. Trump's wealth was a lie, but the corruption goes deeper. Listen. She pressed send. The root file went live. Names, numbers, a roadmap of decades of fraud. The next morning, America woke to headlines screaming, Crockett files shake Washington. Root network exposed. Arrests begin. Jasmine, now safe in hiding, watched crowds flood D.C., chanting her name. You did it, Jazz, Marcus said, tears in his eyes. She shook her head. No, we did it. The people did it. Looking into the camera one last time, Jasmine spoke to her millions of new followers. Don't stop here. Keep fighting. The truth is ours now. The screen faded to black. If Jasmine's courage inspired you, hit like to honor her fight, subscribe to join the movement, and comment for Jasmine if you believe the truth always wins.